It has been a long time, and I'm sorry about that. I have wanted very much to talk to you before now, but I just haven't really had the emotional resources to, I don't know, just be communicative, and you guys know what that's like. So I am officially in past the 13th month. I'm in the 14th month of TSW right now. So you can see that I'm crusty, and I've got a cool like little hipster light leak going on there because my phone screen is cracked right across the front facing camera. So just enjoy that art house effect. Here's a close-up of how my face is doing. So you can see still pretty crusty. I've got little splits, little stuff going on, but I can like always open my eyes now in the morning, which is great. Still have like super dry eyes, but that's normal. But yeah, like I can actually blink, which is awesome. I've got some eyebrows coming back. My scalp is just snowing all the time. It's super gross and just annoying. Yeah, you can see my chest and stuff is still out the same. Here's a nice, oop, overexposed. Nope, is it gonna, kind of, a little bit. There we go. Hand shot. So those haven't gotten much better, I don't think, but maybe a little bit. I don't have, like, these aren't super deep anymore. They're just kind of there. Forearms are still annoying and dry. They actually look better on the camera than they do in person, but you can see, there we go. Yeah, so that's my body update for right now. My feet are looking beautiful though. It's wonderful. So that's great. I was really afraid that I was going to have like really painful TSW feet for like a year or something, but it was only on my feet, I think maybe like 8 months, and maybe like 4 or 5 of those months were like bad enough that it was impairing my day-to-day life with like little sores on the bottoms of my feet too. That really sucked. But my feet are looking beautiful and, as Cher would say, shiny and new. Wait, that's not Cher. So anyway, that's great. I had a moment yesterday where I twisted. Look at me twisting right now. Isn't this amazing? So I was not able to twist without like my skin breaking open all over my body, like my torso and my arms and everything is just very much a robot for about a year. So definitely 10 months. So I'm twisting and I'm doing normal human things like that. Oh, my face looks so wrinkly. Look at this. Anyway, so that's still crummy. I started cyclosporin in the very start of my 13th month. So that was December 4. It's January, I think, 10 or something now. So that was not as helpful as I thought it would be. I'm still on cyclosporin. It definitely helped, but not a ton. So I've got another cyclosporin video that I'll put out just for people who are thinking about going on cyclosporin or just interested to hear what that's all about. So I'll link that in the description. Check that out. It's been interesting. I haven't had any kind of bad side effects or anything from it. So it's been like a fine experience, but I'm just disappointed that there hasn't been more healing or more symptom repression taking place. Because time is the only thing that can heal, but I was hoping there would be a little bit more symptom repression. But, so my big wins for the past couple of months have been that I do not have to take a bath every single day in order to function and not have a mental breakdown. So that has been awesome. I'm super happy about that. I've been more recently taking a bath, usually kind of every other day, and I really look forward to it by the end of the day that I don't take a bath. I haven't taken a bath today, so that's why you can see my skin's kind of crustier than you usually see it because I'm in the bath and get the crusties off. But yeah, so not taking a bath every day. I mean, that is just a huge quality of life change for me where I have like 4 hours back every other day. And there have been weeks where like I'll just go without a bath maybe 2 times per week. But for the past couple of weeks, I've been doing every other day pretty regularly. And it's not like insanely comfortable on the day that I don't, but it's so nice to have the freedom just emotionally to do something. So I usually try and get a walk in, and the other big milestone just this past week. My doctor certified me for work that I can work 5 half days now. So I am working from home every single day. And that is challenging too, but it's been, like, looking on the positive, it's been really good to feel like a normal person as far as being a productive member of society and not just being a patient. So it feels good to like give back to the world, and like I'm a creative person, so it's been nice to create things again and solve problems, and like I definitely still add a lot of value to my team and to the world. So that feels good. It's still like physically challenging, but it's so much less physically challenging than it has been. Like even 2 months ago, it was really, really hard to like do work even for 4-hour stretches at a time. So I'm doing 4-hour stretches at a time really well now. It's obviously still hard, but like 2 months ago when I was like did my first 4-hour stretch of work, I was like, I don't know if I can do this. This is so hard. But I'm doing it, and that's great. And I've been doing it for like a few weeks, for 4 days in a row, which is, I think, just an amazing milestone. So I'm going to keep up the positivity there. Hopefully I just continue healing and it continues getting easier and easier. Thankfully with COVID, there's like, my job is a lot less stressful than it has been in the past as far as just having a lower volume of work. So that's great. I'm still busy every day, but not like getting so stressed out that I'm like impairing my healing. So I'm really thankful for that. Sleep and wetness at night are also really big wins. I've been having more good days than bad for sure. So that is like, if you could have told me that this like last year when I started TSW around this time, that like you're going to get there, you're going to have good days again, that would have been really encouraging. So telling you right now, you're going to get good days again too. So I have maybe like 2 or 3 nights a week where I sleep pretty well through the night and feel like I get some good quality sleep. I still have maybe 2 or 3 nights every week of just really terrible insomnia where I get like 3 hours of sleep, where it's not even due to itching so much anymore, because I always thought before it was like I'm just wet and I'm itchy, so that's why I'm up. But it's just like my brain is completely awake, my body's awake, and like I'm alert. And even though I'm exhausted and I want to sleep, I just can't. So just textbook insomnia. So that's been frustrating. I've even like taken sleep aids, which usually always help me, but like even a couple of nights, it just hasn't. So that's been kind of frustrating, but I'm definitely trying to take what I can get, and I'm super grateful, especially all of the wetness. If it is sweating, I still don't know, but if it is a sweating issue, all of the like just sleeping in a swimming pool of like dry skin, like essentially sleeping in a wet sandbox, that has been my life for pretty much an entire year. Definitely 10 months, maybe a year. So anyway, I am shedding so much less, and it's wonderful. I don't just feel like a walking corpse with flesh falling off of me, and it's so nice. So I still have crusties. I'm still definitely shedding, but I don't just have a trail of dead skin behind me wherever I go. And I can sleep comfortably in my bed without just sleeping in piles of what feels like sand. So I'm still doing like my little wetness pad protocol at night, but I'm like comfortable with just one versus like wanting to move out like sheets and sheets and sheets throughout the night to try and give myself some kind of wet place to be. So that's good. The oozing is tons better too. So that has been great. So really happy about that. I still get oozy bits kind of like you can see around where it's the most rashy, around my mouth and my chin. And I'll get just like if I have a little itch attack, I'll get it on my face. But that's pretty much it. I don't really ooze anywhere else in my body, and I pretty much don't ooze at all. So that's really, really great. It's just sometimes I'll ooze a little bit, but it's short-lived. As far as itch attacks go, I used to have one every single time I left the bath, where I think it was just my skin getting warm and then like the blood coming to the surface of the skin and just freaking out. So anyway, every single time after I would take a bath, I would just have to like sit on my little, or go into my crouching toad yoga position and just try and let it pass and not completely go out of my mind. And there were definitely like, I'm losing my mind itch attacks at least 4 times a day, and 4 to 6 times I think is definitely very conservative still. So right now I maybe have an itch attack that's really small, and it's like I'm going out of my mind for maybe like 20-30 seconds, and then it's still like real itchy, but I can still think and be a person while I'm itching for a little bit. And that's maybe only once a day. So that's fantastic. Like some days when it's bad, it'll be twice a day that I have a little itch attack, but I can function when I get out of the bathtub, which is great. I can get ready so much faster. It's wonderful. So I'll take a quicker bath. Thanks to the cyclosporin, I finally broke the 4-hour bath mark, and I'm down to like 3 and even like 2.5, which is just out of this world. It's amazing how much time I've gotten back. And then when I leave the bathtub, I can actually just quickly put some A&D ointment on my body and get dressed, versus having like my entire production take maybe 6 to 8 hours like it was at the beginning of TSW. So I've got tons of time back, and I just love that. So I'll show you a picture of what I looked like this time last year, and then you can see what I look like right now. So tons less red. Wish I were still less red. I feel still conspicuously tomato-ish, but it is what it is. I'm still convinced that I am healing on cyclosporin. It's just kind of managing the symptoms, but the time is still healing. It's not like I've stopped healing with my immune system being oppressed a little bit. So I went on the cyclosporin, and I'll cover this in my cyclosporin video too, just because I really was actively losing my mind at the beginning of month 13. I had some really bad weeks where I seriously thought to myself one night, like, if I still feel this way tomorrow as far as my mental and physical health, like I need to get help, and I need to get checked into like a mental clinic, because this is really, really bad. So thankfully I started on cyclosporin shortly after that, and I was able to start feeling better, like mentally, as far as feeling more sane too. But that was the reason why I reached out for help, and I had reached out for help actually a little bit earlier than that, but it took a little bit for me to actually get on a medication. So anyway, I'm feeling so much more sane than I have been. It's still definitely a grind, and I wish that I were better than I am, but I have been on clobetasol unknowingly, but I was on clobetasol for at least 3 years, using it multiple times a day. At the end, I was using it like 3 or 4 times a day, just to be like, this needs to help. I don't know what's going on. So for being on steroids, oral and topical and inhaled steroids, I had asthma as a child too. For being on steroids for about 24 years, I think I'm doing really great. So trying to keep that in perspective for sure. So I'm still just kind of slogging on. I haven't seen a ton of progress in kind of the last few weeks, just because I've got my cyclosporin dose dialed in and as high as it can go, according to my doctor. So Dr. Rappaport has been treating me. So I'm going to do a video on him too, just so that anybody who's interested has the available information. So I'm still working and I'm still healing. I had a nice milestone the other day where I've still been trying to go on walks, and I wore jeans just for myself. I wasn't even trying to feel pretty. It was just like, you know what, I can handle wearing jeans. So first time in 13 plus months that I have worn jeans and felt fine. It was great. So I'm still obviously wearing sweatpants and comfy things around the house, but that was huge that I just wore jeans for myself, and it wasn't like I was going anywhere. I didn't have my zinc leggings on underneath my jeans like I've had to do in the past when I've gone out and tried to look like a human by wearing jeans. So really great stuff, and I'm trying to look at all the positives that I have and all the functionality that I have too. So I hope everybody else is doing great. Feel free to send me any questions that you have, and I will check in with you later.